back to Weeaboo Wednesday, everybody. We've got a special episode today, joined with two very special guests. We will get to that in a sec. First, though, as always, DJ.
Hey,
and our first guest is, Steve is his name, but, he goes by OG-kun.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
That is not nice. And our ultra special guest is Chi-chan!
Yay!
こんにちは。はじめまして、皆さん、ちーちゃんです。
Yay, that was adorable. So, Chi-chan is our Japanese friend that we've known for just over a year now. Mm-hmm. Met her at a Halloween party. And she has been helpful in setting a lot of Japanese misconceptions straight with us. And that's kind of just where we're going to talk about tonight is what is real in anime that you see, what isn't. And you'll be surprised. But to start things off, her glorious father, in Glorious Nippon, has sent us actual sake, like good stuff.
Really good stuff.
So we are going to start with a little toast here at first. So everybody, clink it. There we go. Kanpai!
Hi!
All right.
Oh, that is so good.
Yep.
It's great.
I'm going to sip on that the rest of the show. Don't want to, I already did a shot, don't want to get too into it. But, so, anybody got something they want to ask Chi-chan first? And we'll just make this a back and forth. We'll ask something, then she can ask something about us.
Sounds good and groovy to me. Well, one of the things that, first things I asked her was, in anime, you'll see all the kids in school talking in class and wearing different kind of uniforms, and their skirts are up higher, or they've got a sweater done different, or ribbons done different, and jewelry and all, and kind of disorder and asking questions in class. How true is that?
No, it's not going to happen. Everyone is basically really quiet in the classes, and everyone has to follow whatever the teacher said, and uniform or hairstyles, makeup, it's same. Like, once the teacher said, like, girls, you cannot, shorten the skirt, and you have to tie the ribbon or whatever it is, like, this way, and everyone has to do it.
So it's uniformity.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not just uniforms, but uniformity.
That's a really good way to put it. Uh-huh.
That's something I figured watching anime. I was like, there's no way that can be real. But, having confirmed, awesome. So, do you have a question for us now?
Oh, well, yeah, there are a lot of questions I have to ask, but how much question will be acceptable? Like, is it okay to ask you guys about the, like, sexual kind of things in
Oh my god, no, I'm like, so embarrassed.
About dicks and pussies?
Oh no.
Yeah, you can ask us about that.
Okay,
yeah, pretty
like,
much.
We talk about naughty stuff on the show. So
I thought, once I asked you already, but there are a lot of, like, over-sexualized women or girls in anime, right? How much it is acceptable in US, or everyone thinks is disgusting?
Well, there's a misconception
Okay.
about anime. It's still, like as much as we would like to admit or pretend it is mainstream, it's not really yet.
It's getting closer, but it's certainly not there.
It's getting more and more popular, but and there is a lot of anime that is never going to come out in America simply because
Like
of that.
what?
Well, because it's too Japanese. Not that it's too sexually oriented so much.
Well,
But a lot of it's because...
depends on the
it
show.
Depends on the show, okay.
Kodomo no Jikan is
It's
never going to come out in America.
Never going to be here. And that's one thing in America that will never happen. Anything lolicon, anything pedophilia, never going to play here.
But
Never going to happen.
if you want to look at our pop culture stuff like comics, all of the women are over-sexualized in those two.
Oh, absolutely.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just, all of our superhero comics, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Power Girl, my God.
Boobs for days. Boobs that defy gravity.
Like in there was a running joke for like 15 issues of that series. The artist would make them slightly bigger every issue just to see how far he could go without anybody saying anything.
Wow.
And it took a long time. And now that's canon. Her boobs are just that big now forever because of a joke. But
And that's pretty much mainstream in America. But in Japan, at least, they have different
cultural norms.
cultural norms, and also there's different categories. Like you've got your basic shoujo and shonen, which everybody can watch, and then you've got ecchi, which is some nudity and sexual content, but it's Barbie nudity, no nipples, no anything, and then you've got hentai, which all rules are off, and everything else is off to boot, and everything else is in and off and in and out. Dear God, yeah.
Oh.
So it's a little different. We don't really have anything. Ralph Bakshi, when he did Fritz the Cat, had a little bit of that. Heavy metal a little bit, but there's no
adult anime or adult animation in America falls into two categories. Really just crude and crass jokes, or
horribly drawn,
or well, actually, no, that's about it. Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that.
No, but there's some on the internet now that are just spoofs on regular cartoons, where they take normal kids' cartoons and then make it porno.
What?
But the guys that do this actually take their time and make
what
it.
What do you mean?
Production quality is amazing.
There is one that does that.
One, yeah.
His name is Zone. Everybody that's been on the internet knows who he is.
But that's it.
No, whenever animation in America is either for little kids, for the most part, or adults, and it's just like the adult animation is just crass humor.
Yeah.
There's not anything that has just like mature storylines that are.
Well, The Incredibles was a mature storyline,
but it's all.
But kids can enjoy it
family
too.
Friendly.
We don't have any series. In other words,
Batman the animated series is the closest that we've got.
Yeah, and still that's for.
And that was for like
12, college age, 12 years old,
12 to 18 kind of thing. Yeah,
yeah. But as far as Japan, you guys have storylines. You name a subject, and there's an anime about it. I mean, there's an anime about bread, for God's sake. 69 episodes of a bread baking contest, and you learn how to bake bread and why French loaves have only 5 slices on it, and there's anime on how to play mahjong, and there's anime on every sports imaginable, fantasy, adventure, being sucked into a game. You name a subject, and there's an anime of it, which is amazing.
The only other country that comes even close to having that kind of animation is France.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh,
that's
interesting.
And even them, they don't even come. They're more than anybody else, but compared to Japan, they're amateurs.
They have a lot of like movies that are just they're not adult. They're just made for adults. They're just like this is not something a kid would watch because they'd be bored.
Yeah, right. It's not adult because of sex. It's adult because it's adult subject matter like
growing old,
death, or
stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, not a whole lot.
You think a good analogy would be America is to the military as Japan is to animation?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, not just that. It's just pop culture stuff like comics too, in general. But I think that's enough on that one.
Oh.
Next, one of my questions one of the first ones I asked was, in anime, you will see all the time characters like a girl will take a drink of something, and then the guy that likes her will be offered the drink, and he sits there and just like, but I can't because it's touching. And then they call it the indirect kiss. And these are all like high school age kids that are doing this. Does that happen in high school, or is that more of like a grade school thing? Because anime will have you believe that everybody's just like, oh my god, this is the first step of a relationship.
That's a good question. I feel like it's more towards grade school jokes, but it can happen in high school or junior high schools.
So people sometimes
between the girls and boys, like romantic relationship and kind of like anime. Like I drink something sake and I just give it to the guys I like, and he will just hesitate, and then I can tell he likes me.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
Well, sometimes it's joke and sometimes it's serious, not serious, but like indicates a romantic relationships.
So it all depends on how it's presented and how it's taken.
Yeah, that's
by the
right. And
individual.
it depends on the relationship with your friends or girlfriends, boyfriends.
Alright.
But like, what do you think about that indirect kiss? Because I've never thought about it unless American.
Strictly Japanese thing.
Like, well, I don't. For the longest time, I didn't share. I have to know you really well to share a drink, just because I'm afraid of germs.
Okay.
He's a germaphobe.
So, like, family members and people I've known for years are the only ones that, like, if a mild acquaintance is like, here, I'm like, nah, it's cool. I'm good.
For me, it all depends on how badly I want what they're drinking.
But yeah, it's not real. It's not a thing here at all. So we don't have any subtleties like that in relationships.
Okay.
So
Your turn?
Oh, well, okay. How about magical girls? Like, when they transform to, magical girls, they have to be half naked, right?
The
yeah,
whole flashy transformation
Yeah, that's
scene
right.
going on.
And some of my friends ask me, like, why do Japan do something like that? And I've never, ever thought about it. Like, I grew up watching those, transformation scene, but I just thought they were pretty cute, and that's it. That's everything I could think about. But now, American, friends ask me, it is not appropriate. And then I started to think, well, maybe it's not appropriate, but I've never thought about it, so sometimes it just get me really confused. What do you think about it?
you weren't raised in a puritanical society.
Yeah. It all depends on the angle you come at it from.
Like, you guys don't, like, nakedness is not a taboo in Japan, as far as I'm seeing. Like, in Miyazaki movies, they'll show, people bathing together and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen here. But it's just a matter of life in Japan, as far as I know, right?
But you guys have a nude bar or nude beach, right?
Very few of them.
Rare.
But it
We're
really
working on it.
exists.
We're
It
working
exists,
on it.
but it's not like...
You pretty much have to be a famous female pop star to actually have a transformation scene in America, where they pretty much dress like sluts. And that our sexualization is a little different. But some of the things we sexualize simply because we've been taught naughty, naughty, naughty. But when the girls are transforming, I mean, the ribbons and the light flashes really cover all the naughty bits. And so it's really...
And yeah, like, and when Sailor Moon, it's like, when she transforms, like, you don't actually see anything. It's just all, like, covered up with... Yeah, well, it's cut out, and it's got, like, the little glitter crap behind it, and you don't see anything, so why does it matter?
But Americans look at that, especially religious people look at that. And anything that has to do with nudity or sexualization is all, especially in a cartoon or animation, is, that's just evil, straight from the pits of hell. And it's got to be evil then. When in Japan, you guys more or less just look at it as, well, that's really cute. And you don't see it as sexual. You just see it, well, that's cute. She's transforming. It's really beautiful.
I think at least
and
for girls.
colorful. Yeah, at least for girls. I don't know. Is there any magical boys that transform? Or?
There was that one where the guy had the chainsaw.
Yeah, but he was... Kore wa Zombie?
Kore wa Zombie desu ka, yeah. That show was funny.
He became a magical girl against his will.
Yeah.
So he transformed. And to get more superpowers and get stronger, every time he transformed, it added more ribbons and more girly stuff to it every time. So
it sounds fun, though.
Oh, it's hilarious. And he was majorly embarrassed, of course.
Yep.
So what was did that answer your question?
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you.
DJ, question?
I had one for a second, and then I just disappeared.
Comb your afro out. I'm sure we'll find it. It's in there somewhere.
Shaking it.
Shaking it.
Oh,
there it is. See?
What was the first anime you remember liking?
Oh, the first anime? Jigoku Sensei Nube. I really like that show, but I'm asking that I'm asking that show to many American otaku, but no one knows. There's a elementary school teacher, and he has superpower because his right hand is Oni.
Demon?
Okay.
Yeah, like demon possessed hand. So he can fight with monsters or ghosts in the school.
What was the name of it again?
地獄先生ヌベ Hell
that
teacher.
translated?
Hell teacher. Nube.
Hell Teacher Nube!
Yeah.
No, have you not watched it?
Yeah, I've heard of
Oh,
it.
okay.
That was the first one you really liked, really?
Yeah, because I don't know. I liked
Not
Sailor
on,
Moon,
not
but
Anpanman?
it is too childish.
Sergeant Frog?
Well, that is also good, but the very first one I really liked was Jigoku Sensei Nube. And it's, the theme is all about the elementary school. So I could really, relate it to.
Oh, I see.
I've always wanted to read that. I've heard about it, but I've never actually read it or watched it.
Was it translated to English?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. It's just I never saw
Then why only Gakkou no Kaidan was really made fun of it? Because both of them are about monsters, yokai, ghosts, and only Gakkou no Kaidan turned into the comedy.
The one she's talking about is known in the West as Ghost Stories. It was a serious anime in Japan, but for some reason they decided it was just too Japanese when they made it into the American version, and they just got drunk and ad-libbed all the dialogue, and it was hilarious.
But they didn't do it for Hell Teacher Nube.
No, probably because it was more
Coherent?
more
Probably
marketable.
because,
More marketable, yeah.
probably because the copyrights were cheaper for that one than the other one.
Well, no, while I'm looking here, does it actually? Maybe I just heard of it.
And the people who did it were obviously anime fans, because there's a lot of references in it.
Yeah.
That if you're not a Japanophile and if you're not an anime lover, you're not going to get what they're talking about at all. There's a lot of inside jokes, which is why I really thought it was fun to watch. Because the original looked like it was along the lines of Scooby-Doo almost.
Okay.
The Japanese version of Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. And I'm not actually. It doesn't look like Hell Teacher Nube ever actually did get an official release in America. So,
Is there any reason?
no idea.
You never know.
I mean, it
we
came
watched
out-
a show called Ride Back, which is not kind of a mecha, but not really. It's
It's about a ballerina that finds a.
she's a ballerina, and on her first performance, she tweaks her ankle out and can't be a ballerina anymore. Her whole life, she works up to this, and then boom, first night, done. And so she
It's so
finds
sad.
a club on campus where they have go ahead.
A motorcycle club that's like future motorcycles that can kind of transform a little bit. And she becomes a ballerina on that kind of she can
What do
just
you mean?
It taps into her brain and does the movements that she wants to do. The wheels can separate. They can either go inline or together or like a unicycle. And it just does all these weird moves.
Yeah, because she trained her whole life for fluidity and motion and everything. It just comes natural to her.
And with some political statements mixed in with it. But
Very much.
Very much so.
But the show is just weird.
We never thought it was ever be brought over here because
it's just weird.
It was just weird.
And it was obscure. And we're like, oh, that was a cool show. And then it got fucking licensed. We're like,
he told me that day, he told me, Ride Back got licensed. And I'm going, no way. How in the hell did that get licensed? So you never know what's going to make it over here and what isn't. It's
Who decides that?
the companies that
license things?
people that buy the licenses, they will
big Funimation.
Funimation's the main one.
Disney?
Disney does all of the Miyazaki stuff.
Miyazaki stuff. That's it.
That's it.
Crunchy actually has a role in it now.
But yeah, no, they do their own licensing. Discotheque Media does a lot of physical releases still.
What was the one evil one that destroyed One Piece?
4Kids.
Yeah.
4Kids. Oh my God, may they rot in hell.
4Kids is awful.
Oh,
It just,
that was just evil.
it was
What do you mean?
They took one of my favorite animes of all time,
One Piece, and they took a show that was like PG-13-ish. It's got people that, kind of a little bit of nudity, and it's got people that smoke, and a lot of violence, there's blood.
and a lot of flaming character.
They cut that entire season out.
Yeah.
Because of that character.
Yeah.
But they got it, and then they marketed it as like for 6-year-olds, like children. And
which it is not.
For American audiences, One Piece would not fly for that age limit. So they cut a lot of stuff out. And it was first time I watched it, I'm like, this show sucks. This is awful. And then I watched the Japanese version, I'm like, this show fucking rules. Why is this not good? And then
So framing character was not acceptable?
It's just, the entire thing was not acceptable for kids. And that's what the company does. They were the ones that did Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon for America. So that's what they usually do, is stuff for little kids.
You know, so they can sell products like cards and more cards and collectible cards and toys and
accessories.
Accessories like Pokemon. Collect every one of them. God damn it, or we can't make any money. You know, and
but then they still never showed the Digital Hunter Porygon episode of Pokemon.
No.
That was the one that made all the kids throw up in Japan and have seizures.
Oh, the seizures? Yeah.
Still never showed that one here. But So that's... I don't even remember what the question was, but yeah, there's that.
Yeah. What was the question?
Your first anime.
Oh, that's right.
All right. Question. Your turn.
Okay. So why Americans are really into superheroes? Like most of the animes, comics, or whatever it is all about some guy who has supernatural power and beat the supernatural guys.
Every culture, when they have a pop culture or they have stories and things like that, it usually involves that culture or that generation growing up wanting something that they are not. We want superheroes because there are no superheroes. We want to be the superheroes. We want to have those powers. We want to fight for good. And we want to be like that. And we know that we're never going to be. I mean, unless you grow up and become a fireman or a policeman or a soldier or a teacher, you know, you're not going to be a superhero. Those are our only options. So you're not going to be that. In Japan, it's like we look at anime, and you guys really don't. You have lots of superheroes, but a lot of the characters in anime are not at all like Japanese people.
No.
Because they're outspoken, they give their opinion, they show their emotions.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And in, what's the expression, the nail that stands up gets hammered down?
Oh.
Because I remember I asked you once, I said, if I were to say that you were the most normal, average person I'd ever met, you would take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's right.
And if I said you were unique and special and completely different, that would be an insult.
Negative.
Yeah. See, in America, it's the flip.
It's
If you call us normal and average,
insulting?
it's insulting. It's like, what do you mean I'm average? I'm special. You know, and if you say, well, you're really a unique person, we take that as a compliment. But because America thrives on individualism and confidence, and we're not afraid to fail. We're not afraid to fall on our face and then get up and go, well, damn, that didn't work. Let's try this. Ouch, damn, that didn't work. Let's try this. And we keep going until, okay, this works. In Japan, it's more like, well, we're not going to try that because we might fail. And we would lose face and and lose money, and so we're not going to do that. And it's so in America, superheroes, because that's what we want to be. And in Japan, you have the anime people that are outrageous and say what they want to say, because in essence, really, that's what I think Japan wants, is to be able to express their emotions and do that without being judged or criticized or looked down on. Am I far off on that?
Well, that's a really good point. But why is so much obsession of superheroes? Because there are a variety of superheroes and many kinds of superpowers.
Well, you also have to look at when all of these superheroes started.
Oh, yeah.
The vast majority of them started during the Great Depression. When America was...
World War II.
Yeah. Before that.
Oh, yeah, it was, really.
Because when we joined the war, Captain America also joined the war.
Yes, he did.
So these came at a time in America where there was no fun. Just, it sucked. And escapism was everywhere. Everybody... Back then, you weren't looked down on for looking at comics if you were, older. They would send comics over in care packages to the people in war. It was a reflection of the time. Like, we wanted people that would dispense justice and all that stuff. then as the times changed, they've just evolved. Whenever the atomic scare happened,
It's interesting.
that's when the mutants happened in Marvel Comics, because everybody was scared of what atomic energy would do. So that was a statement on that. It's
In
just,
Japan, you got Godzilla.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
your
that's
guys.
right.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. It's just,
Gogeta.
we go about it different ways.
So anime reflects, I don't know, how can I say, like, society at that time.
Yeah, the pop culture is just a reflection of what's going on when it's being formed. And it comic books have just been the one that has just stuck around constantly. And they just evolve, keep going.
And they do deal with social issues.
Okay.
Even when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, I was more of a Marvel fan than DC. I never could stand Superman. Fuck Superman. It never made sense to me. It's like, dude,
You could end
You're like
everything in 5 minutes.
you could have world peace and you could feed everybody and take care of all the world's problems in a month, tops. And you don't, all right? Screw you. And then,
What do you mean?
because he could do anything. He could go gather up all the nukes
He
and throw them
could
into
do
the sun.
anything?
He could end
He
all
could just
wars.
fly, right?
No,
Does he have
no,
any
no.
other superpowers?
All of them.
He
All
has
of them?
Yeah, he
Yes.
had all
super
Wow.
strength. Like, he can shoot lasers from his eyes. You can see...
Heat vision.
That's
Heat
what I
vision,
just said.
freeze vision, freeze breath, not freeze vision, super speed,
Yeah.
flying, super
Yeah.
strength,
Are we going to also
indestructible.
Pull out, are we also going to pull out all the Silver Age craziness, like super knitting, and just
Well, yeah,
all the
well,
different, like,
In other
yeah,
words,
just,
anything that he set his mind to do, he could do perfectly.
yes.
Yeah.
There was nothing that he couldn't do. He was a demigod. He was... So he had all the powers, and he didn't do shit with them. Whereas Batman had no powers, and he was badass, and he took care of the criminals and everything. But what I was trying to say is, when I was growing up, there were social issues. We had Vietnam War going. We had the sexual revolution. People saying, "Screw the status quo. I don't want or a house, 2 kids, a picket fence. I don't want the American dream. I want something different." And the quote establishment was saying, "No, you must conform and you must do this." And my generation was saying, "Well, what if we don't want that?" And it reflected in the comics. There were many comics that dealt with social issues, and they always have. There's always been someone to deal with hardcore social issues in comic books, unlike any other medium, really.
In America, no. Like, that's... And because they're put out so frequently, they can deal with it then. It's just like, bam.
Like an episode of South Park.
Yeah. Or, Law and Order. Same thing. Like, it's something that happens so frequently and so consistently that we can just be like, oh, this is a hot button topic. What do we want to say about it? And boom, there it goes.
Yep.
Wow.
So, comics have been the perfect medium for that in America.
Interesting. Huh. Okay. So are superheroes still attractive for you guys? Even though it's kind of, for me, it is the same pattern over and over again.
For me, I stopped reading comics when I was in my teens, and it was all Spider-Man's fault.
Mine too.
Because Spider-Man just couldn't catch a break. I mean, every time he turned around, somebody in his family was dying. His girlfriend died. Everybody was saying he was an asshole when he was really a hero. Everybody hated him, and all this shit is just like shit after shit after shit dumped on this guy, and all he wants to do is help people. And I just couldn't take it anymore. It's like, you're a superhero, but I can't... Spidey, I can't feel your pain anymore. I've got to stop. This is ridiculous. Give the guy a break. So I just stopped.
I stopped reading during the comic crash of the 90s because in the 90s, for some reason, everybody got it in their head that if you're going to buy it, you get issues of comics, like all of the different variant covers and all this, they're going to be worth something someday. They're going to put your kids through college. It was an investment. So the companies kept putting out these huge storylines that took place over 5 or 6 different series, sometimes 10 or more. And you had to buy all of them every month to get the full story. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
It's way too much.
So that's when I started getting into manga. Like, my sister let me read...
Bless you. I think
Battle...
that was a bless you. I hope that was a bless you.
My sister let me read Battle Angel Alita way earlier than I should have.
What? Battle?
Yeah, I read that when I was like 8.
Dude, you had a cool sister.
She was just like, "Don't tell mom." I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
So,
Oh, your mom would have shit Twinkies so
oh yeah. But then I was just like, "Whoa, wait! There are comics out there that just tell one story and that's it. You don't." I was like, "Yes, thank you. This is great." So I just started reading there, and then that kind of springboarded into anime once I knew what I was watching, because I'd been watching anime for a long time. I just didn't know it. Like, my first anime was Belle and Sebastian is what it's called in America. Japanese name was Mike and Jolie.
I don't know.
Dog
What
in
is that about?
Set in the Alps.
It's set in the Swiss Alps about a boy and his Great Pyrenees. It's an old show. Like, it came out like...
フランダンスの犬?
No. The Dog of Flanders. That was another one I saw.
Oh, yeah, screw that.
That was depressing as hell.
Yeah, that's freaking
But it's a
Japan's
good
version
story,
of Old
right?
Yeller. The dog dies.
Let's see here. But yeah, that was why I stopped reading comics. Is because like I don't care about buying all these books.
Well, the superhero craze has gone from comics to movies now.
Yeah.
They're the biggest
that's
movies
right.
made right now. See, what happened is Comic-Con used to be a thing in San Diego where all the people who love comic books got together and shared, like anime conventions. You know, you were finding with your own people. And Hollywood discovered that...
They had a lot of disposable income.
Yeah, buddy. And so they started coming in and bringing in movies and bringing in other things. Now you go to Comic-Con, there's TV shows and everything but comics.
There's a video out there that basically that's Twilight's fault. I will
Fuck Twilight.
I will send you the video. I will try to remember to link to the video in this, but basically Twilight ruined Comic-Con. But that's another discussion to have later. Oh God, who went last? Was that your? Yeah, that was your question about comic books.
So back to Steve.
Anybody else have anything? Yeah. I'm trying to think of something. Still.
One of the interesting things you asked me that just freaked me out, and I've always known that Japanese people were polite and considerate and quiet, and harmony means a great deal. And then we were talking down in the basement, me, you, DJ. Well, us right here, DJ. You know. And you asked, why do Americans have conversations? And we were all sort of just taken aback. It was like, what?
Come again.
Because exchange of ideas, having fun.
Was that so weird question?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ask an American, why do you talk?
That's all we fucking do is talk.
God.
Even if there's nobody there to listen to it, we'll talk.
Oh, wow.
Shit, I
really?
talk to myself just to, have a decent conversation. But no, we share because we are a nation of individuals. And a lot of us are raised that if...
We're a melting pot.
Well,
We've got everybody.
Well, I like to think it was more of a stew. It's because
Yeah,
in a
we're
melting
not-
pot, everybody melts and you lose all identity. But you have people that are. It's a stew. It's got every bits and pieces of everybody melded into one, and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and it makes it completely different yet unique. And yet unique. That's two same things. Never mind.
Double pop.
But very PC. But yeah, we like to have conversations. And your reply when we said, well, to share and to find out about each other and to have fun. And we asked, well, why don't you have conversations in Japan? Or do you
Well, we do have a conversation, but it's completely different. Like, Americans ask a lot of really personal questions.
Like what? What's a really personal question to a
Like,
Japanese person?
just...
What would you never ask me for?
I don't know. Some of my friends asked me about what is my parents' religious background, and one time...
That would be too personal?
Isn't it personal? I've never got asked the question like that from my friends, and sometimes the complete
Japan's not very religious,
strangers
though.
asked me about like, what are you going to do in summer? And I said like, I'm going to LA, and she's going to ask me like, who are you going with? When are you going to come back? And
Right.
I just met her that day, but she just asking me a lot of questions about my plan on summer. And I don't know why she is asking me this kind of questions. And it's
'Cause she
always
wants-
happens.
Yes, because we want to know.
Why do you want to know?
Because they're interested. in what you're doing. And as a cute little Japanese girl, if you're going to a place like L.A., for criminals and bad people, you are just a Christmas present wrapped, waiting to be unopened. I mean, so if you're saying, I want to go to Compton and see what that's like, then we would chime in and go, no!
I don't got any friends in 818. Don't go there.
Because it's dangerous. And, I'd like to go play on the 405 freeway. No, don't do that. It's too scary.
But how much it is okay to express your opinions? Like, is it really okay to say, I love this or I hate this? Like, whatever it is.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
it can offend people.
But be prepared. In America, you can have a right to any opinion you want. Just be prepared to have it disagreed with. Someone may go, well, I think you're wrong, and here's why.
You don't lie about it? Like, you can just pretend you like it or agree with it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, why would you do that?
What do you mean?
Okay, people do that. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people in America who go along with the crowd and just want to fit in, and so they'll lie about shit.
Yeah, it's more safe
and
harmonized.
But it's a lie. It's not true.
Like white lies.
No, a lie's a lie. If you're eating something and it tastes like shit, and you smile and say, "Oh, this is really good," what that means is the next time they serve that, you're going to expect you to like it. And they might even say, "Oh, she really liked that dish. Let's cook it again for her." So you say, "How does it taste like?" I know. This is no. I can't. I'm sorry, and you give your opinion. And if it offends them, you say, "I'm sorry if that upsets you, but take a taste." And then they take a bite, and it's like, "Okay, yeah, it does taste like shit."
There's also a good chance that if you do that long enough and people find out, that will be much more infuriating than if you had actually said it in the first place.
It's so offensive to them.
We'd much rather you be honest with us and tell
We
us.
hate phonies.
Yes, phonies.
We hate phonies. If you're going to sacrifice truth and who you are just to keep the peace and just to get along,
But how about religious
that's called being a
questions? Is
phony. Who
it
cares?
really okay to ask?
Why? Why not?
Well, because I don't know. Like, just one time I asked a Buddhist monk who visited my house, I asked him, why did you become a Buddhist monk?
Yeah.
That one question made my mother upset.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I really don't know. Because she said, it's not polite to ask such a question to
How
them.
old were you when you asked that question?
I was 23 or 24.
Okay, so you weren't in grade school. You probably would have got away with it, right?
Oh, probably.
Okay, but why would that? Well, there are religious people and people in America that get embarrassed easily by anybody showing any confidence or assertiveness whatsoever. So if someone asked the preacher, "Why did you become a pastor?"
And it could be offensive.
To some people, that I don't hang with those kind of people, and I don't like those kind of people, and I don't respect those kind of people. So I don't get where their heads are at.
There could also be, maybe they don't like the past they came from. Like they prefer the life that they have now, and that the life they had then, they don't want to think too much about it. They didn't like who they were, and so they think, like me for who I am now, rather than assuming on what I was. That could be another reason.
Maybe your mom knew the guy was his answer. If he answered honest, she knew his past. And it's like, well, it beats being a pedophile. I mean, well, the police told me I had to become a monk or they were going to put me in jail. It's like, so maybe that was it. I mean,
If you took off his shirt, you'd just see all the tattoos.
yeah, he's Yakuza. He's got tattoos all the way down to his wrist.
Just atoning for all them sins.
Yeah, there you go. Or excuse me.
You guys don't guess, like, what other people are thinking.
Huh?
Like, I mean, like in Japanese culture, we tend to try to guess what other people are thinking and do before.
Moody.
So there is no such culture like that. You never do it?
You can't. I mean, how do you know it's in somebody else's
You've never
head?
encouraged to do it. Or
We're not
not.
encouraged. I think people do it unconsciously, like all people do it, but we don't really act on it. We say, like, is this what they're thinking? I don't know. I'm going to ask you, is that what you're thinking?
And it's not expected of you as a societal norm to just do that and know what people are thinking or what to do in this situation. People just have to learn that. And
Yeah. And the big thing going on in America now is safe places and not offending anyone.
Let's not get into that.
I'm just saying that's a trend that's coming up, and that's very Japanese in its essence, as far as if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, and just let's have harmony and let's everybody agree and let's not cause any waves. That's kind of no, they're more militant than that. So I said that because they're assholes, they're dicks. But I mean, we're not concerned about harmony so much as we want to get along. Don't get us wrong. We want to get along, but we also prize our individuality and our opinions. And when you state an opinion, here's the thing. I think a lot of Americans are infomaniacs. They love information. And so how am I going to find out what you think if I don't ask you what you think? I can't.
Guess.
Well, why? But I could be wrong.
Yeah,
and then if I guess wrong, I could ask you another question and completely offend you and make you mad.
Oh.
So it's better to ask and know for sure than to guess. But we are not a shy people as a whole. And when you've got, how many people are in Tokyo alone? Like 8 million? Just like, you got a lot of people packed into one city. You've got a lot of cities that just, the population is just, wow. I mean, you better freaking get along because there's just too damn many people to have contention all the time.
But how about New York or, I don't know, Los Angeles, Chicago, or whatever biggest city?
And you know hey, I'm walking here!
But I've kind of done that a little bit. Example was actually with you. You had sent me that list of all of your favorite anime.
Okay.
Then I showed you a bunch of stuff that I liked. Based on that, I was able to guess who your favorite character was in Sergeant Frog and get you that for your birthday.
That was
bravo,
awesome.
sir.
That's awesome. The kind of thing that we do is like for gifts and stuff like that. You don't,
it's like more like surprise.
Yes. Like if you're trying to do something nice for somebody, you don't want to come out and say it. So you're just like, okay, well, drop hints here. It's like, okay, she likes this character. So I think she'd like Garoro. So then I get you Garoro.
And it worked.
Yeah. So emotion or creativity in anime is because of the suppressiveness in Japan? Like, what do you think about it?
Well, not just in the anime, but in some certain types of anime.
Like what?
Well,
you have the Japanese people have the least sex of any other country on the planet.
Yeah, population is decreasing.
Oh, no. You have the least amount of actual sex.
Like, how do you know that?
Because of scientific studies and polls.
Scientific studies and polls.
Okay.
And, of course, you have zero population growth right now, and schools are shutting down, and toy stores are shutting down, because there's no kids.
But it is more like economic reason.
Yeah, no, not really. Kind of, yes, a little bit, but a lot of it is sexual repression. Where you have host clubs. All right, we don't really have anything. We have strip clubs, but it's not the same thing. Guys go into strip clubs, they just want to see naked. That's it. They don't care about talking. They don't want to talk to a girl. They want to see her naked. Okay, in Japan, you have a guy goes into a host club, and the women come around him, and they treat him like he doesn't get treated at home, per se. They tell him how wonderful he is, and they respect him, and they ply him with drinks. They get him drunk, and they build him up, and they flirt back and forth, and he does all the things that he can't normally do in society at all. And then you have the reverse. You have the women who can't really do anything, so they go to host club for them. And of course, then there's the host club for women who can't handle men, so they're women dressed as men because men scare them too much. And then you've got the sex trade in Japan, which is legal. Everything up until intercourse is completely legal, unless you're gaijin, and then no way, because social disease and black gaijin, no, too big. And but all of it's completely legal and above board, but it's all in replacement of having normal, healthy sexual relationships, because to have a normal sexual relationship, you've got to talk to each other. And you've got to express your feelings and your emotions and say, no, don't do that, do this, no, sideways, no, faster, harder, stop that, The safe word is banana. But I mean, so you've got to communicate to have it, and your Japanese culture, embarrassment keeps you from doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
And being judged and losing face and being nervous and what do I say? And so you've got a whole generation of herbivores. These guys who borderline. They're not otakus, really, are they? But they
Some
are,
of
and
them
some
are.
of them are. But they just don't want to. They'd rather deal with 2D women and 3D women, and they don't want to have a relationship because it's too much hassle, and they don't know what. There's basically what it comes down to is they're cowards.
Oh.
They're socially awkward. They've never learned how to deal with the opposite sex. No one has ever taught them. And rather than learn it, because it's too scary, you might make a mistake. Somebody might make fun of you. Oh my God, what do I do? So instead of experiencing that awkwardness and falling on your face and making an idiot out of yourself, you just go, no, I'm good, don't need it. And you back off and you don't do it. And which is one of the main reasons that the population growth is because it's harmony. But do you want harmony at the cost of
The next generation.
the next generation? And you're having a lot less fun.
80-hour work weeks don't help either.
Yeah.
Like the normal work week in Japan, I've heard, is like 60 to 80 hours.
For a salaryman.
Oh.
Someone who's trying to get up in the company.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of true in America, too.
Oh.
When you're talking about the
That's
same job, salary,
but the thing
corporations...
is, if you're at Japan, you can't leave until the boss leaves. So
Yeah.
That's
How
like
are-
expectation.
yeah, that's the expectation. Not in America.
It's not official, but
But
just
who's not gonna?
But you damn
who's
well
gonna
don't
fucking
do
leave?
it.
Like, who's gonna leave whenever the boss is gonna go home and like not get promoted? Like, that's not gonna happen. You guys are way too passive for that.
Wow.
But there was a post on Reddit I found in the
Sake on a guy?
Oh, those.
in the Jehovah's Witness board. The ex Jehovah's Witness board. I was just cruising that for a while. There was this guy from Japan who was pretending to be a Jehovah's Witness.
Arigato, Chicha.
For what?
So he didn't have to work as much. He was like, I'm totally cool with doing like 34 hours a week, but a regular work week, fuck that. I'm done. So I joined a Jehovah's Witness church, and I get an excuse to not go to work that much. I'm like, bravo, dude! Bravo!
Talk about working the system, man.
But we were all like, do you actually believe it? And he's like, shit, no. Like, no, I don't believe it at all, but it gets me out of work.
Okay, Chicha. What was the weirdest thing, your first impression of America? What was the one thing that struck you that you went, well, that's different?
Oh, conversational style? Like, just people interrupt each other. Like, I thought I have to wait.
What do you mean by that,
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I thought I have to wait until the person finished talking, but, more I wait, more they talk, and they never stop talking.
Yep.
Yeah, there you
So,
go.
yeah, that is so different. And people are just like to talk and like to be asked questions. So that is completely new. I tend to ask a lot of questions, but most of the time Japanese people don't like to be asked a bunch of questions. I can just tell Japanese people are like implying, like, why are you asking me those
Yeah, because
questions?
they'll
Why do
never
you want to
say,
talk
hey,
with me?
stop, shut up.
What about, you have talk shows there, right?
Yeah, we do, but
Where
I
they
mean,
ask
ordinary
questions.
conversations, like among friends or family sometimes.
But you
Have
talk
you
to your
seen-
friends, don't you, in Japan?
Yeah, we do, but sometimes I feel like I shouldn't ask personal questions like American do.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Like religion or like the relationship with
But
the...
it's really weird because Japan is the least religious country on the planet almost.
But if
I mean,
you
you're superstitious, Shinto, Buddhism, it's all about ceremony, but as far as like going to church or being religious about something,
Like
they really
Americans like
don't.
to clarify the lines, right? Like, I am Christian, I am something, I am
Oh, yeah, you gotta
Muslim,
belong to
whatever
a-
it is.
You gotta
Yeah.
belong to a club.
You
Yeah.
want to just specify your identity or personality in whatever it is.
some people.
And I'm
Some
not
Some people.
comfortable doing that. Like, I am that kind
Well,
of
I'm not
person.
either.
Or,
Yeah, like I don't belong to any specific group. I dabble in a lot of groups. That's why
Yeah.
I'm so scatterbrained.
but you
is
still
because
like to label yourselves in some category.
Some people do.
I'm a blanket term that would describe me as a geek. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm into that kind of stuff. Don't care about sports, but music, I will listen to anything. Movies, we'll watch anything. Cartoons, comics, games, I'm into all of that.
You're an omni geek.
Yes. So, but I mean, I have a heavy emphasis on cartoons. Mm-hmm. That was my major. But then I had a minor in general studies. But yeah, like some people have to have a group to belong to. Mm-hmm. They're not comfortable in their own identity, so they have to attach themselves.
So it depends on the person?
Yes.
Yeah. In Japan, it's being Japanese.
Yeah.
But everybody belongs to the same group. It's
uniformity and tradition.
Exactly it.
I did want to ask you, though, like, you said you don't talk to your friends about certain things. If you think your friends are in trouble, like personally, like personal life, is that something you bring up?
I don't want to talk about it. Or, I don't know. The one time my father almost died, but my friends never asked me about how my father is doing. Because
why?
It's just so touchy.
That isn't...
Why is it touchy?
Like, that's your father.
Is he still alive?
Well, yeah, he was okay. But
we've talked
your
to him,
friends didn't ask, are you okay?
Like, I can tell, like, people are worrying about me, concerning about my father or my family, but no one, like, actually voiced it.
And nobody offered you support or anything like that?
Not really.
See,
that's so sad.
Yeah, that would never happen in Japan. Or in America.
No, it'd never
like,
fly.
Do you just ask your friends, like, how's your father doing? I heard
Usually we don't have to ask. Usually they'll tell us. You forget it's America. A lot of things we're going to have to ask us. We'll just straight out tell you.
Depending on how good of friends you are, you don't have to. Like, if something bad happens to you, I know Steve is going to call me immediately or come over and be like, dude, what do you need? Like, what can I do to help you? Zach will do the same thing. Like, all of my friends, even if I haven't seen them in years, Damon, who you met that one, did you meet him?
I guess so.
I think so.
Damon and Misha, she met
you at Halloween. I have known him since...
Halloween 2, the sequel.
Yeah. I have known him since kindergarten. It doesn't matter...
Buddha!
Yeah. Oh, Buddha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't matter how far in life we get apart. If something happens to either of us, and if could have not talked for 15 years, he could call me up and be like, "Do you need your help?" I'm there. Like, he's my buddy, and he's the person I've known on this earth the longest. So that's just how it goes.
So you never think about the distance between people? Like, my mother always encouraged me to have distance between your friends.
Shit, no.
That makes, I don't know, that relationship better.
It makes it non-existent at that point. Like,
So separation from your friends. In other words, you give so much of yourself
because
to family, a little less to your friends, even less to those outside of your friends, like to your bosses, and then absolutely nothing to anybody else. Kind of like that. It's just degrees of how much you give to people.
Yeah, well, something like that. Yeah. I feel like there's a category in Japanese people's head. Like, this category is friend, this one is school, this one is work, and once you are categorized in that work group, you will not be that friend's group. You know what I'm saying?
So you can't, mix and
match? Yeah, you
match?
cannot switch it. That's the way I feel.
We have those kind of groups here, too. I had people that I was only friends with at work.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, sure.
Some of them became my best friends. Like Zach, I met at work. And all of his friends that are some of my best friends now, I met through Zach. So he started out as just a work buddy, and then we started hanging out all the time. So that's just...
It's a matter whether you like each other, enjoying each other's company. And you find that out through conversation.
And there are plenty of friends that I had at work that I was perfectly fine with just having them friends at work. I could handle them at work, but I knew if I hung out with them in a social setting, it'd be like, motherfucker, I hate you. But at work, they were nice, and it was fine. But, no.
So you never care about what everyone does? Or, like, how do you have to fit in that everyone? Like, what majority of people are doing?
You don't.
Yeah.
Most people...
Never?
Well,
not the majority of people.
A lot of people that do that are in high school. Like, that is when popularity and the majority matters in America. And then as soon as you get out of high school, you realize nobody gives a fuck who you are. So you have to, if you're not interesting, nobody's going to talk to you.
Or how about your parents? Your parents never encourage you to be like any other people?
No.
No, but you can't go by his parents.
Oh, okay.
And his dad, we didn't want to go into that. He didn't have a dad, really.
Yeah,
and then
no.
your mom was a JW, so...
Well, not for the most...
For the most part, yeah.
But how about you, DJ?
Hmm?
Have your parents encouraged you to be, I don't know, your father or your friends or people who found you?
My mom was one who always encouraged me to do anything, and she said, whatever you do at your best. Even if you're going to be a serial killer, just don't get shot.
I love your mom, man.
His mom is awesome. We can attest to that. But yeah, no, she was supportive in whatever I wanted to do. Like, I was like, I'm going to draw stuff. She probably knew that was a bad idea, but she was like, yeah, go ahead, whatever. Like, it makes you happy. And then I found out I can't make a living doing that. Oh, I found out before that. I had the whole mental block thing on it because of the figuring out I was colorblind. But that's another story.
Comics.
That's what. If I was smart, I'd have been like, man, I could have done black and white comics.
Yes.
But I'm stupid.
You can still do it. You're not dead yet.
I know, but I won't.
So me, my parents basically be honest. Work hard when you work, play hard when you play. You know, and I learned how to paint, and do construction work when I was 13, and just I always had a backup plan. But I wanted to be a musician, and the worst kind, Christian music. Because I love God and I love music, so I thought let's put the two together. Until I found out that that's just pure shit. Except for a couple of groups and the whole thing, there was just as many drugs and sex and weird shit and disreputable people, except the people in the secular world will screw you and say, hey, that's business. And the people in the gospel world will screw you and say, well, just give it to Jesus. I said, I can't give it to Jesus. You've got it. So write me a check, bitch. But my parents were very supportive of that because they knew that if that didn't work out, I could always paint. But they were always behind me. They always had my back. And it was really hard to rebel against parents who loved rock and roll more than I did. I mean, I loved rock and roll, but my dad loved in the 70s and 80s. He was into Scorpions, and my mom was into Def Leppard. It was like, how do you rebel?
Yeah, Scorpions.
So I mean, it was really kind of difficult, But I don't know. I grew up wanting to please everybody, want everybody to like me, and wanting everybody to think I was cool. And I didn't make anybody happy, and I didn't even make myself happy because I couldn't please everybody. It's impossible. And then I finally came to this brilliant conclusion that the reason I don't care what people think is one, that's assuming they think in the first place, and they don't. The majority don't think. And the other is, if they are thinking, they're thinking about themselves and their own problems. So if you're my family or my friends, I care what you think because I have something invested in you. You're my friends.
Yep.
I enjoy the things you enjoy. I love being around you. You have part of my life. If you're writing my check, I care what you think because I want to get paid. Okay? If we're having sex and married, that I care because emotion and fun. If you're just some dude or person on the street and you say, I don't give a shit. If I dress the way I want to dress, I listen to music I want to listen to. I've got this long ass Van Dyke that goes down to, I think it's like Civil War general mode. It's like really freaking long. And I do it not to be, I'm not a hipster, because hipsters are idiots. I like this music, so nobody else can like it. And my band, the band I like got money, got popular. They sold out. I'm going, yay! My band got popular, made money. They made it. Woohoo!
Yeah, I bought Alien Ant Farm's album like 2 years before they got big with that cover of Smooth Criminal.
Well, I knew they were just Ant Farm. They didn't even add the aliens.
Well, it's just like, but whenever they got popular, I was like, yeah, fucking good for them.
Yes.
They're great. And then, but no, there was other people who were like, no, they're. I mean, I don't like them now. Why?
And
You're stupid.
The whole hipster attitude is stupid. I just like people say, well, I want to be a nonconformist just like all my friends.
Yeah.
It's like having an anarchy club. It really doesn't work. So I do what I want to do. And if the general populace doesn't like it, oh, frickin' well. Now, if Case were to say, dude, that shirt looks like shit, I wouldn't just automatically take his opinion either. I would say, really? Why? Because I want to know
conversation
why.
starts.
Yeah, because I want to know why it looks like shit. Is it the color? Is it the texture? Is it the naked bronies on it fucking? What is it? I mean, you know.
Gross.
Yes, it was.
Don't anger the herd. Do not anger the herd. But
But you see what I'm saying there? If I care about people, I care about their opinion. Not to say that I don't care about mankind in general, I really do. But I'm not going to live my life to make all of them happy, because it is impossible. True harmony, real harmony, is impossible because we're all human beings. And you may have harmony on the surface in Japan with a lot of friends, but you and everybody else full well knows that that's bullshit. You know that you're really not in harmony with that guy. You hate that guy's guts because he wants to, but you're never going to say anything because you want harmony. And he's looking at you going, God, why does she wear that particular color? I hate it. That's a total bitch. But they're never going to say anything. But you treat each other like, oh, you know. Konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Sumimasen, sumimasen. You got like about 10 words for apologizing and like none for fuck you. You know?
Goodness. Wow.
You have some swear words that are really cool. But I mean, that's not real harmony. That's just shut the fuck up and get along. In the inside, you're boiling. And then you look at hentai, and you look at some of the weird games, and all the I need to get this shit out of me, and it comes out with tentacles and it's like, oh dear, I wonder what you're suppressing.
Japan is by far. I mean, there are other countries have like anime porn and stuff like that, but not nearly on the level that Japan does.
I mean, you guys are taking it to a high art form.
Like,
I mean, it's just, we sit back in awe and go, wow. I never would have thought of doing that with that, along with this, and inserting that. Wow.
Legend of the Overfiend, anyone?
No, don't even.
And on that note,
we were going to talk about food. This is so weird.
I was like, yeah, let's just talk about whatever, but we've gone on for an hour, so
Really?
I
flies.
think we're good to go for this one. We'll definitely need to do it again.
Yeah, we got to do this right here again.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, so
maybe that next one can be about the food.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we're going to teach you how to make otaku food. We like to call it trailer park otaku food. Melon pie.
Yeah, favorites.
We'll go over that shit next time. But we're gonna have to wrap this up, or we'll just be talking all night. So again,
we do this a lot, by the way.
we were joined tonight by DJ
Hey.
and Steve.
Hello.
And Chi-chan.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Again, this is your host, SpaceKase. I will see you next week when we might actually watch an anime again. I don't know. We'll find out.
Hey.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Sayonara.
Konbanwa.